So the listing is created, you sent your first shipment, and you're launching. So give us some outline on launching. How do you launch, and what is it that you're watching?
So when we launch a product, there's a couple of things that are really important. Number one, conversion rate, right? So we said this before, you're going to want to make sure that your conversion rate's really high, because you have this certain amount of period of time where it's not exactly like the honeymoon phase, but it's made easier to show high conversion rate numbers when a listing is new, because there's way less total traffic to it. So if you're sending very highly targeted traffic, conversion rate is going to be much higher. So there's a weight on conversion rate per keyword and then on the overall listing. So you're going to want to really make sure that you're sending really high targeted traffic. So a lot of times we'll prepare, if you have an email list of customers, we'll ask them beforehand if they're interested in purchasing when we make it available on Walmart, and selecting those customers and then sending them when the product becomes available. So we have very targeted traffic, and we could show that really well. When we're creating our initial advertising campaigns, you're going to want to get advertising on Walmart is so powerful. It just has to be done the right way. And it runs very differently than Amazon in some ways. In some ways, it's very similar, but there's a big impact on how you could advertise based on your relevancy score behind your listing. So if you optimize your listing really well, like we spoke about in the beginning, it's going to make this job much easier. But still, it's going to take a little bit of time till Walmart actually shows you in the placements, till they show you more often, till they give you a higher relevancy score, which will allow you to spend more, which allow you to show higher performance. So a little bit of times you have to be patient with the advertising, picking up those learnings, and then being able to kind of take it from there. So that's been a really big kind of thing with Walmart, is properly crafting your advertising in the beginning also, so you're not advertising too randomly on random keywords, because sometimes you might get traffic to those keywords, but if they don't convert well, it's not going to be good for your overall listing. So just because they're cheap cost per clicks and they might not be that expensive, and some of them convert, you might not want to advertise on a lot of those keywords in the beginning. You're going to want to be much more targeted with how you're advertising. And you're going to have to balance that, because in the beginning, you're going to have to do some harvesting to get an idea of what type of keywords work. And it takes some time to get that. But if you're looking at your keyword list and some are just not great opportunities, like leave those for later when your listing's already more established, and you can start testing with wider range of keywords. But I wouldn't test too wide of that in the beginning. That's really important to keep in mind when you're going through your launch phase and when you're working on doing that. And just keep in mind, Walmart takes some time to pick things up, but once they do, you're going to start seeing your rank grow really well, and it's much easier to hold your rank on Walmart rather than Amazon. There's less people constantly competing for those spaces, so it's an easier game in that regard.